it.
survived.
Actually, we
We did it, Joe.
Actually, we did.
Yes.
Ashley's so embarrassed because we're not dancers. I mean, y'all
No,
are. Y'all
no,
are.
it's fine.
Melanie, an island girl, okay? She can wind her waist.
Think about me.
You can always dance.
Girl, you from Texas. You throw that ass in a circle, okay? Like nobody.
Thank you so much.
What's up, y'all? It's Ashley.
I'm Fee. It's Melody.
And Cody here, and you've tapped into
The Mama's Den.
Happy Monday, Mama!
It's
Happy
Mama's Day
Monday.
Yes.
Mama's Day
Monday. Mama's Day Monday. Mama's Day Monday.
Hey.
I got my titties
Okay.
out.
Mama
I got my
Day, Mama
titties
Day.
out.
Okay, Ashley got her titties out on a Monday morning.
I also have on loafers and sweatpants.
Okay.
A lot is happening right
Unhinged.
now.
It's a vibe, though.
I think so,
It's a
too.
vibe.
Thank you.
Unhinged.
All right, y'all, we're going to jump right in because we have new listeners every single week. Praise the Lord. Thank y'all for joining us.
Yes.
We're going to reintroduce ourselves.
Okay.
Well, but first, we'll also say our dearest, our love, our quarter, Felicia. She is out handling her business.
We miss you, girl.
We do.
So-
I miss her because who am I
Yes.
going to talk with while y'all are talking?
Your
I've been
little
paid.
kikis and the cackles.
I have to pay attention now.
Wow.
We brought
What
a guest
concept.
in so you can whisper when we're actually recording.
Got it.
So
Oh, man.
I am Cody. I have 3 boys, a set of twins, and an 8-year-old Brooks.
I'm Melanie. I have 2 children, Cameron, who's 8, almost about to be 9, and Kaya, who is 3, going on 27.
Cody, can you say your twins' names? Because they definitely have names.
Yeah, they do have names. Aristotle, the Great, and Langston
There you go.
Hughes Oliver. Just kidding, not the Hughes.
Okay. Just
was
trying to
like,
help you out there.
word.
I was like, I didn't know this.
So I'm Ashley. I have 4 daughters, Amira, who is about to be 16, Azara, who's 8, Asia, who is 6, and Atalia, who is 3.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of
How many?
children. No.
How many?
4.
Damn.
It's so
Can't even
disrespectful.
imagine.
It's an ongoing
When I
joke.
see your post, I'm like, woo,
Girl, I say well, shoot out every day. You are not alone. Wait,
Okay,
who am I
y'all.
talking to?
Wait, so we have a guest.
Yes.
And our guest is an amazing dancer, choreographer, and actress, who is-
Producer.
who is from Fort Worth, Texas.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Her name is Brittany Perry-Russell.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of
I'm
course.
excited
So
to be
pretty.
here.
You
So
are
cute.
the queen mother, okay?
I don't know why people say that.
Because
but
your
thank you.
son, who most people know from Instagram or movies and TV,
Family reunion, yeah.
but seeing the 2 of you online together, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think any of us have to know you to
Yeah.
see the energy and the beauty and the love that you
Yes.
guys share.
Oh, thank you.
And it's just incredible.
It is.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah.
And you're also a momager.
I am.
You are the momager, which I find
Yeah.
riveting.
I'm a savage.
Classy, bougie, ratchet. I know that's right. No, but it's always interesting because I, as an artist in entertainment, everybody always asks the question, what are you going to do if your children want to get into entertainment? Are you going to be their momager? And I'm like, ooh. So I'm so interested in learning. We are so interested in learning about the many hats that you wear and your journey to this evolved version
Yeah.
of Miss Brittany.
Well, I had the same reaction actually. When Isaiah first said he wanted to be in the business, my gut instinct was no. And I told him no. For almost a year, I was shocked because he was 10.
Okay.
We were running an errand one day and he was sitting in the back and he's like, Mom, yeah, what's up, buddy? He's like, I think I want to be an actor. And I don't know why I freaked out, but I did. And let me give you a little bit of backstory about my upbringing. So, like Cody said, born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas. Around 16, I met Debbie Allen because I was doing a play with her and my brother. And Debbie, at the time, I wasn't dancing. I grew up being a competitive cheerleader because that's huge in Texas. So I learned a little bit of dancing through that, but I was mainly a gymnast, and I was also acting because a lot of people don't know this, but in Dallas, there's a big commercial market.
Oh, wow.
So I knew I wanted to be an actor. And my brother...
Ashley's putting it all together now.
Yeah.
No, because you did a little child thing, and I'm
I
like,
did.
oh, it all
Yeah,
makes
I
sense
think
now.
I did a little child thing. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. She did.
Yes. And so my brother was the dancer. He was training under Debbie at the time because she's from Texas. A lot of people don't know that.
Did not.
Yes. So I auditioned for Pepito Stories, this play she was doing. and every actor that was going to be the lead had to dance. So I was like, oh,
Sounds
here
like
we
Debbie.
go. Yeah, like, here we go. But I actually ended up getting it. And when she saw me, she was like, hey, have you thought about making dance your career? Oh, wow. I was like, no, actually, I didn't think I was good enough. No, you're good enough. So at 16, I remember telling my family, like, that's what I'm going to do, out of the blue. My mom made me go to college for a year. She's like, you're way too young. Did that, and then came back home and was like, yeah, Mom, I'm serious. I want to move to L.A. Moved to L.A., and my first job was with Clutch of Pearls, Diddy.
Nope. Clutched. Clutched.
It's none of my
A
business.
lot of people's first
Absolutely.
forays into the industry of learning things and being at a particular level involved.
Yep. A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think seeing how the music business operated, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay. People talk about actors, but music business is cold-hearted.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I think I didn't even realize until Isaiah said it at that moment that there was a lot of PTSD. It was like, no, that's just not what you're going to do. But he continued to ask. So I thought about it and definitely prayed on it, because everything I do when it comes to my son is spirit-led, because I'm a full-time single mom. And I said, you know what, how about you model and do commercials first? And so I believe it was his first audition for Skechers. He ended up being the face of Skechers and did multiple commercials. And then I looked up a few months later, he had booked like 14.
Wow.
And I realized, okay, you're really serious about this and you love it, and I don't want to be the one that stops you.
Yeah.
And what was interesting to me is Isaiah had a very unique upbringing. Because I was a single mom and couldn't afford full-time help, you know, if you see old, you know, videos of me on the Grammys or Billboard or on, we were talking about Ciara's Promise, like my mom was out in the lobby because he was only 6 weeks old when we shot that video.
I really want to jump in and make sure people understand, and you understand, the legend that you are. And
Run the reel.
we gonna run some things. No audio though, 'cause, you know. But when I realized, like 2 days ago, that how close we are in age. Yeah. I want y'all to understand that in high school, though, middle school and high school, we looked at Brittany like, she's amazing. Like, I didn't even realize how close we were in age, because I just look at her like this, like, amazing queen that you are.
Oh my God, thank you.
And so when you were like, she was in all of the videos, okay? All of the dancers that we know of, like the singers that we know of as dancers, like a Ciara, every video where these beautiful women are like using their bodies in these poetic ways, Brittany is right there. Okay.
She that
Brittany or
girl.
Brittany?
It's Brittany, so she's right. Yeah, so I usually say Brit because
Literally
people
told
are
you
like,
this
what,
an
Brittany?
hour
What is
ago.
that?
You tell
She don't trust nothing I
Cody, you
say
tell me a lot of things.
that you don't remember. I love you.
Absolutely
It's fine.
don't. Yes.
That's a damn lie. You remember everything.
I do, but
then she forgets.
at this point, at 40, I'm only storing things that keep me alive for the day.
Received.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not one of them,
Felt.
but I will
Yes.
remember Brittany for that
Yes.
one.
If you
Just
think
call me
about
Brit.
it,
Just
No,
call
I'm
me
not saying your
Brit.
name correctly.
is actually the way it's spelled.
Yeah, it's
It
true.
is.
Thank you for saying
I have
that.
someone in my life's name is Brittany. It's
N-E-Y.
N-E-Y, and
Yes.
she's
Yeah,
Brittany.
that's fair.
She's
Yes.
not Brittany.
Well, come
You
on.
know what? You're right, because
So it's true.
the
You're
girl I knew
Brittany.
named Brittany was spelled N-E-Y too. It
Yes.
is Brittany.
You are
Yes,
Brittany.
Or my name must be Ashley then.
It is.
Oh Lord, there's no.
Shout out to
anyway,
Felicia.
Ashley.
There's no in the
It's
middle.
the Ash.
Huh? It's Ashley.
What's your middle name?
Nicole.
I was about to say it's Nicole.
It
Like
is.
everybody.
You
Oh
already
my
knew it.
God.
Like
everybody.
Nicole. Is your middle name Nicole?
No, but I
Oh.
know a lot of
Is it
Brittany
Marie?
Nicoles.
It's a bunch of
No.
Ashley Nicoles out there.
Oh, it's because there was a soap opera during that time. I forget what it was
is
called.
that what
There
it
was a
is?
girl in there named Ashley Nicole.
Yes,
But my
so
mom named me
funny.
after Gone with the Wind. But anyways,
Well,
back
I
to you.
just wanted to give you your flowers though, because
you.
like that has not changed. Just to be clear, it's not like I'm now, you know,
you.
20 years,
No, you
whatever
still that
many
girl.
years later, and I'm
Thank
like,
you.
that was then. No. You are still that girl, and now
Thank
you are
you.
also that mama.
Yes.
Thank you.
That like I look up to, especially as a person with 3 sons, and
Mm-hmm.
I just want what you have. So you're gonna teach us how to
you.
raise these kids.
I want to chime in and say something, because you really are that mama, and indirectly, like, we didn't even know. We ran into each other somewhere, and I watched her son. She was there with her son, and I was just watching him, and he was just so mature and in control of himself and personable, and I was like, how did you do this?
Yes.
I was like, and my son had just turned, I think, 7 at the time,
yeah.
or 6, 7. And I remember being like, people have told me around this age, things start to get a little, they start to change their personalities. And I was having such a hard time. And we literally were off in a corner for like 30 minutes. And she just started gaming me up about like how it's normal and like, this is what we did. And she encouraged me. And I said this on a previous episode, let him try everything.
Yes.
Let him try everything to find what he loves. And I never forgot that. And he has tried so many things. We were talking about coding camps and martial arts, swimming, like all the things. And I thought about that, and you told me about parkour.
Yes.
And I was like, I wonder if Cam would like parkour. So I still have your open, I was your invitation. You were like, let us know when you want to try, if he wants to try it.
Yeah, what is it? Because let's all go.
What's parkour?
Parkour and tricking. It's pretty much, it's like gymnastics and martial arts infused. It's what you see stunt guys do in movies.
Okay.
That
That's
so like
just
my
like a
son
great
can
place.
like run up the wall, do like crazy tricks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it now. So when you
Yes.
first told me about it, I was like, interesting. And then now I've seen him do it, and I'm like, whoa, it's real.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So she is that mama, just so you know.
I'm going to third that because I want to say that I always talk to, I send videos of you to Cody, and I'm always like, she's just so pretty. She's dope. Oh my God, look at the relationship. It's mostly when you and your son.
Yeah.
Because we all have children, and I think I obviously have the oldest out of all of us, but I look at the relationship you and your son have, number one, because my daughter, it's funny you said you pauses. She's been asking to act since she was 3. She's now 16.
Oh, wow.
I know. And I've been like holding it off and holding it off and holding it off because I'm also spirit led. And my husband worked in the music industry, and I meet a lot of people. And Cody is my friend. I meet a lot of people. And I'm very protective of my daughter and her spirit. She's also a Pisces. She's very sensitive, and she's a very pure child. So I feel like once the door is open, the door is open forever. And for her, she's always like, she compares herself to her friends, because one of her friends has like a major role right now. She's always like, if I would have started when she started, look, and I'm like, yeah, but there's also tons of celebrities who were children's stars and now no one knows their name. So I'm like, you have the rest of your life, and a part of me just wants her to do all the things, right? But the thing, it's never changed. She's like, fine, I'm going to NYU. I want to go to film school. Like it's never changed for her. She's a straight A student. She takes college courses. Like, I know, and that makes me want to give it to her more and more. And I also know it's a full-time job, and like, I would be like you, like I need to be tapped in, and I'm gonna have to be there with her. I have 3 other children, so part of it is a little selfish, because I'm like, once I open that door, I know that's going to be our life.
It's not selfish because you have multiple kids.
Yes, but it's selfish to her because she was here first, and she
got
been
it.
asking since before they were here. She is 7 years older than her siblings, so she's been saying this since she was like 3. She's never ever changed what she wants to do with her life. She's always said she wanted to be an actress and write and direct. So anyways, that was like a sidetrack of me always seeing you out with your son. And same thing that Melanie said, like, whenever I see him, he's so respectful, and his energy, I feel like you could just feel children's energy, right? His energy is the energy of a person that is deeply loved. And that is what I feel. He's so respectful.
Yes,
he
Mom.
is.
We're like 10 minutes in. I'm not going to cry.
No, there's tissue right here, baby girl.
Crying is like, it's almost par for the course here.
No, and I'm telling you that because I think as mothers, that is our number one goal. Is that when our children in the world, are they representing all the things that we've poured into them? And yes, your son is. You should be very, very proud of yourself, friend. Very proud.
Wow, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't get love like this.
Oh well.
I really
call us
appreciate it.
anytime.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
No, for real.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
He's
you.
amazing.
That means a
And
lot.
that's you.
Thank you.
You did that.
Wow.
Come on, mama's love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez. I say let her do it though, and she'll figure it out. I
Yeah.
love that you gave her the advice that it's not going anywhere, because it's not.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we know our own kids and what's best for them. I have to remind a lot of parents when they come up to me or approach me about it. Isaiah is a LA native. He's always been on set. So I didn't have to teach him about the smoke and mirrors of this business. We would have those deep talks because there were times at 7, 8, 9, you know, I'm working with the biggest artist at the time, and he's excited. He gets to come to rehearsal and they're a shell of themselves.
Yeah.
Or they walk in drunk. Or, you know, their manager's trying to make sure no one knows the real tea. And at 7 or 8, he was smart enough, because this new generation's on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
They're so smart. He would get in the car like, well, that was disappointing. What was wrong?
Yep.
let's talk about
Right.
it.
Oh, wow.
Because that's not what I want you to
Yes.
do.
Right.
And this is why you never idolize these people.
Girl.
Be inspired,
Yeah.
but never idolize celebrities ever, ever,
They're just
ever.
people.
They're
Yes.
just
with more money than you.
people. Yes. That's
it.
it. That's
Sometimes.
it.
And more problems sometimes.
Right.
I was
Love
gonna
it.
say,
Sometimes.
sometimes most of the time.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That I can say that is one good thing is that she's always been on set too. Like, cause her godmom is a stylist, so she's helped and been on set with every celebrity you could think of, and so
Okay.
she has really good like instincts and she's the veil is gone for her.
Good.
For me, it's more so the time that I know that I have to invest in the
Yeah.
time that she deserves and the protection that she deserves, but she already knows what it is. She's met everybody. She's like, oh,
She's such a chill kid.
She
Every
is.
time I see you guys,
she's dope.
she's gorgeous.
That's my what I call her, my model child. That's the one I put out in public to show that I'm a good parent. The other three I let them keep locked away.
She's a brochure.
She's a brochure.
Okay, but I have a question though
Yeah.
in about some of those things. It's like, what were some of the challenges that you faced being a single mom, raising your son in an industry, building your career all at the same time? Like, what were some of the things that you had to step in for your own development, for his protection, for your like, what are like, I'm sure people can't
that's a
even,
lot.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure, you know, people sometimes don't even know. They just think like, oh, you got to make sure that they don't do this or they're not around
Yeah.
this. But like, you have your own journey in that as well,
Yeah.
right? You have your own emotions that you're going through, feeling your own, reliving your own story, building your own story while helping him build his.
Yeah.
Like, what were some of the things that you can identify that were like really pivotal to him and you getting to this place?
Well, I mean, starting, when he was born, I think I quickly realized, okay, I'm in this by myself. I knew when his dad and I didn't work out, okay, this is a journey that I'm going to have to take alone. And God bless my mom and dad. They're amazing. But living in Texas, my mom being a teacher, she couldn't fly out as much as she wanted to. And I knew I didn't want to stop. I had him fairly young, didn't really get any in my 20s. So like I say this all the time, I look back on it and I can't believe I wasn't fired by most of these artists, but it's amazing what you're going to do, what you can do when you're in survival mode,
You gotta
right?
figure it out.
I don't think I asked a single artist if Isaiah could come to my rehearsal.
You just brought.
I just brought him. And I was working for some of the biggest artists at the time. Like we were talking about Ciara. He was weeks old, like 6 weeks old at the time. And my mom was just sitting in the lobby with him. And I remember like, you just had I sure did. Let's go. Let's do what we have to do. So I think that was quite difficult because for me, it was the judgment that was hard.
Yeah.
I remember a choreographer telling me when he was around like 5 or 6, he's going to resent you for this.
Don't project on me, girl. Bye.
That was exactly what I said.
Yes. Oh.
But I was like, what do you mean? And it hurt me because I think people forget we don't get a blueprint for this.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows what the right answer is, and you're just trying to figure out on a day-to-day basis. But mothers, specifically, we are so judged.
So
So
hard on each
judged.
other.
By strangers, by family,
By
by
each
friends,
other.
by each
Yeah.
other. Yeah. And so I think that was really difficult for me. There were times where I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue, if I just needed to get a 9 to 5 just to appease everyone else. But that's the first thing that sticks out. When Isaiah decided he wanted to be in this business, I mean, my kid is so sweet. He's so innocent, still is, and I always wanted to protect that.
Yeah.
And because his career just went so fast. I mean,
Yeah.
he got Family Reunion 4 months into acting, and that was his first lead
Wow.
role. And I was panicked because this business is not forgiving. Kids, they don't care. It's a business first, and they treat you like adults. And my son he was so green, he didn't get it. So, you had cast members who weren't the nicest, or you had to deal with crew, just all of these things. I don't know if you guys watch Quiet on Set.
No, ma'am. Because I can't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm too sensitive for these
Yeah.
things.
I
But
did
I'm
it on
aware. I'm
purpose.
aware.
Yes.
I did. Yeah.
It's a lot because you are now around 300 people. You
Yeah.
don't realize it. And on Quiet on Set, it's crazy because when I watched it and I saw the timeline, I was like, wait a minute, I was a teenager on that set then because I was on Taina with Christina Vidal, and I hit her like, did you know this? She's like, no. So it just shows you what can be going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I think my biggest fear was this business breaking him, because again, they don't care. Say your line and move on.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that, because I've said to him time and time again, I don't care if you're successful in this business or not. What I want you to do is contribute to society. Who are you just as a young man?
Yeah.
Like, how do you want to show up in this world?
Yep.
And that was just a fear of mine, because especially being a single mom, it's just me.
Yeah.
And that pressure of not getting it right. And we all feel that. It's like, oh, I just don't want my kid to be messed up. But I have to shout out some parents that I met along the way. I don't know them very well, know them in passing, but when I say their names and their kids, y'all are going to be like, I remember meeting Carrie Shahidi, Yara's mom.
Yep.
I didn't even know who they were, but I had a call back for a commercial, and her youngest son was an actor for a little bit. And they kept bringing me in and out with different kids, and young kids can be extremely difficult at that age. And when he came in, I just remember thinking, oh, this is a good kid. Wonder who his parents are. Walked out, he was with his dad, and then that was just a memory that I had. Cut to her posting her husband, and I was like,
That's that man.
and that's the kid. I should have known.
No, right.
So between like people
She's
like
wonderful.
her or Carol Martin, like there's some women that I would hear about and how they operated in this space. It was like, okay, so it can be done. I worked on Shake It Up with Zendaya. Her mom and dad were sitting right there. So when people wonder why she's such a great kid, well, she's not a kid now, she's a grown woman.
Engaged.
That's what I started to notice.
Yeah.
Okay, parents never let go. And I'm never letting go.
That's right.
So yeah.
That's a word.
I have something to ask off of that, because sometimes when you are a mom and you're the momager and you're there and you can recognize what these parents might be doing right that you really admire, right? But sometimes you don't get a rap for being right or good. Oh, that mama in the way. She need to get out of the way. She needs to do. Why she just let that boy let the professionals be the? She's too close to it. She can't make a good decision for him. And how did you did you encounter those things, and how do you deal with those things? Because I think if anyone's listening that has kids that want to explore this industry, and that's also for me, it's like some kids don't want their moms being involved. They want to be like, I want you to be my mama, because somebody talks bad about you, I might want to fight them and jeopardize an opportunity, you know? So how did you navigate that? And how did you learn from seeing those other parents? Because I'm sure you probably heard along the way people talk about them in ways that were not as admiration from admiration that you had.
I think communication is key. One of the biggest things Isaiah and I have between the two of us, even when he was smaller, we would always talk. I always want to know how he's feeling, what he wants, what his needs are, and then I tell him what the goals are for him, right? So when he got family reunion, it was so quick. Like after he tested, we barely made it out of the parking lot, and we got the call, and it was like 8 minutes later, and my heart stopped, because I was like, oh,
It's real.
here we go. Okay. Isaiah's very gifted in school, math and science. He always wanted to be an engineer. And not that I was pushing him to be that, but I love that he was a straight A student because, okay, education is key. But I would always hear how when kids got in the business, their grades would fall. And then most parents didn't care because they're like, oh, my kid's making money. Who cares? Like, we're all going to be rich. That's not how I get down. I've been around far too long to know how it goes.
Right.
So, we sat down and we wrote out a contract. And I said, listen, I will snatch your behind off that show. I'm so Southern. I know. If your grades go down. And he's like, well, okay. I said, because I don't know if this is seriously something you want to do. You may start this series and then say, just kidding, Mom. I don't want to do this. Well, then what do you have? School,
Or
right?
they could be like,
yeah,
we don't want you no more.
Right.
Thank you. That part. So, we had that talk. He signed the contract. And I remember meeting Meg. She probably thinks I'm still crazy. The first teacher that they had, she just wasn't cutting it. We realized she just didn't know what she was doing. So we had to have a meeting. And I was like, this is my kid. I have to go home with him. If he's not caught up in school because the teacher you hired isn't doing an adequate job,
And you're speaking about a teacher that was provided to the kids?
Yes.
Who were all child actors?
Yes, yes. Okay. So she was only responsible for Cameron and Isaiah because they were in middle school at the time. And both of us, the other mother, Celicia, we were like, she's not cutting it. Okay, we need to have a meeting. And I usually don't talk to showrunners. Like, there's a little bit of a distance. But when it comes to my kids' education, no. So we had to have a meeting. And I said to her, I just want to be clear. If this continues to happen, I will take Isaiah off the show because I care more about his education than his fame. Her mouth dropped. And one of the other producers was like, I don't think I've ever met a mother like you that cares as much about your kid's education. We'll let her go and you can pick the next teacher.
All right.
I love that. Yes.
I was terrified because I didn't want that reputation of being that mom.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I have to go home with him.
Yes.
You know, so no, he needs to get his education. So yeah, I don't think I've ever fully been, scared. Like I said, spirit led.
Yeah.
We know our kids. We know what they need. And if you're doing it with a genuine spirit and a genuine heart, I don't think a lot of people think that that's disrespectful because I'm still a nice person. I'm just serious about my kids.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Period.
Okay, so I do want to pivot slightly to you juggling your own career and dreams while also
that's how we still trying to find it.
Like shepherding him as your son, but also literally managing him as a job.
Yeah.
So what did that look like, or what does that still look like? How has it evolved since?
That is a day-to-day battle. It really is. There have been a lot of hardships. I struggle when people come up and they're like, oh, it's probably so perfect. Like, you guys just seem so perfect. I'm like, no, I want to knock him out sometimes. Like, are you kidding me? He's a teenager.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think as a mom, we all do this. We put our kids first. So there were a lot of times, like I think I was coming off the show 13 Reasons Why. And I got my first offer for a movie. But he found out he was going to work on Family Reunion, and I couldn't be in both places. And it was so heartbreaking for me. I started to mourn my own career because it was like, okay, so who do I put first? My needs or his? And a lot of times he won. And I would be lying if I said I didn't grieve that sometimes because I've been working so hard for my career. But then I realized, I was like, God, you didn't bring us this far to abandon us. I don't know what you're doing. I did not see this coming. I didn't expect for my kid to be in the business. And so, I think that's the thing that it's hard to explain. There's no balance to this at all. Like just yesterday, we both had callbacks. He had to meet with the director, but he needed me in the room to read because everything is still online a little bit. So to be able to watch him, help him, then I had to, switch everything, and he had to read lines with me for my audition. Stuff like that, I love it. But it is hard when you have to pick and choose when you feel like compromising and when you don't. That's hard.
Yeah. Well, you know what I like to believe, especially about you, I feel like when you open with, I listen to Spirit, I feel like, and I like, this is one thing I learned about Melanie too, is like people that really are spiritually based and really in tune with themselves and like the world that exists outside this world. I feel like there's I call it a protection spell over top of you. And I tell my daughter this all the time. I'm like, everything that if you're moving in with the consciousness of doing righteousness is, we're parents, right? So technically we decided to have them until they're grown. It is our job to put them before us. As unfortunate as it sounds at times, because that's a reality, right? Like, it's like, I'm still here and we're done. I feel like very relatable to you. Like, you're still young and you have a child who's like almost grown, they kind of grown, you know what I mean? But you're like, I'm still cute and popping too. Head on. I got things I want to do. But I do feel like the alignment of the world is like every opportunity missed is still a blessing. Do you know what I mean? It's still a blessing because I feel like when you have a protection around you and your family and you've shown God or whoever you believe in that like, I value realness, I value love, I value my family, I value protecting my child over all of this, over fame, over, then things align eventually in a way that benefits you and your child, because you weren't supposed to be on that movie set.
You better go on. Come on, sister.
You know,
Sprinkle. It's
sprinkle.
so true, because that's how I ended up on Family Reunion. And I never thought we were going to get a chance to work together, because everyone says we look exactly alike. So when they offered me the role, I was like, what? Okay. So I ended up recurring on that, which led to We Can Be Heroes, which was a huge kid movie that we did together. And we ended up breaking a Netflix record. Well, I think it's just a record, period. We're the first real mother and son to play mother and son superheroes in a project. Aww. And I
am getting emotional.
Yeah. I remember seeing the billboard on Sunset, and my mouth just dropped in that. I mean, when you walk intentionally and you know your purpose and you trust God, his vision is always bigger.
Always.
And I think sometimes we really fear those uncomfortable moments, or those moments, like I said, where I had to mourn my career a little bit, because I constantly had to keep giving stuff up for him, but I never saw that coming. And it's still one of the most beautiful blessings of, our journey.
And there's more to come.
Amen.
What a gift.
Yeah.
What a gift to hear that. Like, this is actually the stuff that dreams come true are made of.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, my kid's successful, we made it. Like, you are creating a life and a story with your child.
Yeah.
As you guys both continue to grow together.
Yeah.
And as individuals.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually really, really beautiful. Sometimes parents don't allow themselves to have that vulnerability with their children, to say, I'm a human too, I'm going through my own things, this is my own journey, letting them see and understand what that is. And truly, I agree with you, like, God has blessed you in such a way where when you didn't know who was going to watch him when he was 6 weeks old, or you were bringing him to these things, like, your purpose with him and his purpose in your life was already written. So that's just full destiny for you guys to be working together. When you were like, I don't know what I'm going to do and what it's going to look like. Oh, it's me and him. That's why he's here.
That's my roll dog.
That's a love. I love it so much. I love it so much.
It's so beautiful.
So wait, you did a post recently about, he was like going through the security at the airport.
Oh, yes.
And it's funny because somebody wrote us and they were saying, like, sending a child off to college is a chest pain that no one can ever prepare you for.
Wait, not just somebody. I do want to make clear that this, ironically,
Original Whitney.
Originally, actually my best friend Nalo. This is her other best friend, and so this is like, they were college roommates, and Nalo was in the room when Whitney had her son KJ. He was their college kid.
Wait, here's why that's funny.
Why?
My best friend was in the room when Brittany had Isaiah.
That's
crazy.
Yes.
Just
That's
to be clear,
crazy.
That's very crazy.
Kimberly did not want to have a child for a very long time after visually watching that happen.
Nalo did it. That's why Nalo was like 5 years into her marriage when she was like, okay, I guess I have a baby, because she watched Whitney give birth and she was like, that's ghetto. No, thank you. Hilarious. But no, Whitney's son, KJ, it was like a #1 draft pick or whatever. He's a football player. So he's going to Texas. So
Texas.
Yes. Full circle. She has dedicated her life. I mean, she had him in college at 21, I think, or something like, or actually, I don't remember, 19, 20, 21. But she has dedicated her whole life to him and his career and his football. So it's coming full circle, and he got signed and got a good old paycheck and all of these things. She's actually like, I'm going to go back to school so I can be his manager. And like, when
so
he
wait,
goes
she
to
was
NFL.
made for this question.
Yes, so this is just so funny. The person that you picked is like so aligned with this,
Whitney.
because she's having that now, because now her child is she's dedicated her whole life to him, her whole entire existence, to make sure that he got to where he needed to be. And now she's like, how do I let go? And like, what? She also has other children, 3 other boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your feelings on this.
Okay, so that post.
So her comment, I don't think we read her comment. Her comment is, did we?
Just read it again. No, bring it back.
The comment is, sending a child off to college is a chest pain that no one can ever prepare you for. Crying emoji, heartbreak emoji, all the emojis.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Isaiah goes to college locally.
Okay.
The hardship for me is, when you're 16, 17, 18, you can start traveling alone to do these jobs, especially when you're 18.
Oh, yes.
So So funny. I remember when his agents, like he booked a movie that was going to shoot in Maui. And so we had a conference call. I'm just excited for him. And our rep, Sheva, says, okay, so we were able to get you a ticket to fly out there just to make sure he's good for a little bit. And then that's it. They don't have a room for you or anything. And it just got quiet. And I was like,
She said, what?
What do you mean? She's like, yeah, Britt. I mean, he's legally an adult. So, you know, you can't be on set or you have to request it.
Oh, my.
Like, even as his manager?
Yeah, girl. I mean, we can request it, but legally, I really shouldn't be there. Isn't that crazy?
Okay, so how do the lines where does the line get drawn where it's like, I'm manager today, I happen to be his mama, but I'm not here as his mama?
Again, you just have to be that parent that's like, no, that's not how we operate.
Right.
I'll be there.
Yes.
Just like I said, when I was working on Shake It Up with Zendaya, I loved it. Both parents were sitting at Video Village. Like,
Right.
We gonna be here.
Right. So I think it's your team, everyone has to understand what you want to do and what you're comfortable with. But it was so eye-opening for me that we were already in this space. I was like, okay. But that particular video that I posted, he was traveling out of the country without me for the first time.
Wow.
Not the passport.
Oh, not an international
No,
flight.
you guys are about to
girl.
cry just thinking about it because
he's back.
He's safe.
He's back.
He's safe.
But I'm sure it's like, you know, all of you guys at any milestone, you
Yes.
blink and you're there. And just even the conversation is, you know, we were in the car. Do you have your passport?
Yes.
Okay, keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, don't do this.
Location
okay, make
services
you're
on.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And if it goes off, it's going to be a problem.
Right.
You know,
Right.
all of that.
I'll
And
be
then you
there.
just start shaking because you're
Girl.
like, did I do enough? Does he understand? And I tell him all the time, I trust you. I don't trust other people.
Yeah,
Word.
my mom used to say that all
Yeah.
the time.
So please just listen to me because it's a scary place out there, you know? So
I'm already stressed.
I know. And I was totally that mom. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't roll his eyes in the
I was
video.
about to say, how does he respond to that?
Yeah. I mean, it was so funny because someone noticed. They said, I saw that look back and it made me cry.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to be cool about it and I saw him check to see if I was still there. I'm like, I'm just going to see you through the gate. And then I got to the car and I was like, you at the gate?
Kevin Costner running by the plane.
Yes. So it's that, you know, college, traveling, working, you know, without me there, it's been tough. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm not really a helicopter parent. Shockingly
But you're
enough.
just used to being
But I'm
present.
used to
Yeah.
being there, and I also always want to protect him.
Of course.
So,
That's your baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think that post, like so many mamas.
Girl, I was
I'm
crying.
pretty
Yeah.
sure, you know.
The algorithm
Actually,
did
I
not
think you
like
sent
me.
I
it
sent
to
it
the
to
group or
you.
to
Yeah.
me.
I
You
must
were
have
like,
missed it.
now I'm crying.
Yes,
I was like,
yes. Too much.
And it's something that our team is preparing us for. Like, okay, now that he's old enough, Britt, let's get you back out there.
Oh,
but you may
wow.
be in different countries at some point. Are you going to be okay? Not at all.
No, but you know what though? I'll say this. What a beautiful thing that you guys have been able to build this together
Yeah.
and then you still have, I always use this, more gas in the tank.
Yeah.
You still have more gas in the tank
Yeah.
to pour into yourself.
Yeah.
real.
Like your reward is that. That is
Yeah.
the reward of raising your child to go out into this world,
Yeah.
knowing that you have done the best that you can do, feeling that he is equipped as the best you can equip him, but
Yeah.
also still being like, but wait, now I got a little bit more
Girl,
time
so
for
you
me
still
now,
popping, honey.
which is like so wonderful because I
Yes.
think that happens to women. We
Yeah.
sometimes. We sometimes feel like, oh, that time passed.
Yeah.
I'm tired, or like,
Yeah.
that dream is dead. It's like, no, like we owe it to ourselves. It is the reward that we should honor ourselves to say, I'm going to do this, whether I'm 40, 60,
Yeah.
70.
Yeah.
So just, it's actually, I'm so excited now for you.
Thank you. My
I agree.
manager said that the other day. You know, he was like, you two are very interesting. Usually the kid is the Nepo baby because the mom or the father are huge, and then you can just bring the kid up, or the kid is big, and then you know the,
The mama,
parent is
right,
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he said, you guys are holding hands, doing
We're
this
yoked,
together,
equally yoked.
Yeah, he's like, you're kind of on the same trajectory, which is very interesting. And he's like, I hope that you appreciate it and you're grateful for it because you guys have been able to be there for each other without it just being insane.
Yeah.
And I never even thought about it like that. He's like, you're a very unique pair. So
You're unicorns.
thank you.
Given all of that, right? What are your dreams right now?
Yes.
For your life, professionally,
Generational
personally?
wealth.
Come on.
Yes.
Well, you already have that.
Yes.
But you need some more money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have our own production company right now. We're working on our first film. We're producing together. Thinking about doing a podcast.
Yes.
I have questions.
We've got answers.
Yes.
And questions.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we're just auditioning yesterday. We're both up for projects, and hopefully we'll get those.
Okay, wait. What are your dreams for you?
What are my dreams
That's
for
what
me?
I want to know.
More self-love.
Okay.
More pouring into me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. I was in like a meditation circle not too long ago with the actress Monique Coleman. Do you guys know
Yeah,
her?
I just saw her on Friday.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
We're good friends, and it was a lot of women. And the lady said, I'm going to pass the candle, and when I pass it to you, I want you to tell me who you are.
Mm.
And I was like, please don't let me be first. Don't let me be first. She's like, Brittany.
Yeah.
So I gathered, and there's like 20 women looking at me, and I was like, I don't know who I am. And everyone
Tears.
started to cry, and I thought I was going to be embarrassed by the response, but I was like, I think I'm in a space now where I have time, I have the mental capacity, I have the strength to figure out what I love and to possibly start dating.
Yay.
Call me anybody. Where all the cameras?
Call us, and we will vet.
My son's on the other side of the camera.
I'm sorry. She said she ready to date. What you say, Isaiah?
What they talking about? They talking about none. They talking about none. What they talking about? They talking about none.
I think I may go back to school.
Really?
I've been shadowing directors. I know I want to be on the other side of the camera. He's in school for good Lord, scoring for film and television.
Okay. Nice.
And so I'm like, okay, I think this is a puzzle. I want to do this together. Yeah, you do the music.
I told Amira I want to go back to school together. She was like, girl. I was like, when you go to New York, I'm going to New York.
Forget your other kids.
Right. I don't know them.
Yeah, so just figuring out all the things and actually just being patient with myself and giving myself grace, and everything is new. Like, I just posted myself back in the gym, and I'm going to Pilates. I just want to do all the things.
Do you consider yourself an empty nester? Is that like the stage where you would say you are?
To a certain extent. I mean, he still lives at home, but that's the thing. If you've been following us for a while, Isaiah's a life of the party. He is out and about, and I'm totally a homebody. That's why when we meet people and they think that we're constantly joined at the hip, I'm like, not at all. I'm a Pisces. He's a Sag. He is living.
Oh, honey, the Sagittarius is out to. We operate the Sagittarius. They out.
Yes, out in the streets.
Yes.
So so we've always kind of done our own thing, but I think this is just a moment for me to evolve and self-reflect on who I am and what I want.
Yeah. I know that's right.
Beautiful. I love this for you.
Thank you.
You are so cute. We're going to find you. Cody know Ottomans.
Thank you, too.
Don't
You
tell
been
me.
gatekeeping?
Don't give me that rep, because I know too many women who are like, why haven't you introduced me to somebody yet?
It's always some man at your house. I mean, with your husband there, too.
Pause. That sounded crazy. Pause. That sounded crazy.
Funny.
Listen, I'll keep my
always
eyes
come
and ears open. Okay. All
Y'all
right.
got me in tears over here.
Oh, good.
man.
Yes.
We love to make people cry.
What a beautiful story and journey.
Thank you.
And just outside of like the obvious of like celebrating you and your child's success, I think the thing that I'm very excited for you for is this journey for you. The woman, Brittany. The woman.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all at that stage. I think that kind of happens where you have kids and then you get to a place, whatever your journey is, and you just ask yourself like, what do I want?
Yeah.
Who am I? What do I want to do outside of being these people's mom? And like, I feel like I understand that, but one day they're going to get up and leave. And then who am I going to be?
Do you guys think, because you guys have partners, dads go through this? Or is it just a
Girl,
mom
I've
thing?
never heard a man say this.
I think
just thinking about it.
You know what? I've never heard a man say it, but they probably think it
No, my dad told me. My dad just he got sick or whatever, and he's been having a bunch of epiphanies apparently. And he told me, he was like, I wish that I would have like taken more time, and just he's like, because you just get older, and everyone gets older, and he was like, like you don't. For yourself individually and as a parent, you know what I mean? He was like, you should just need to take more time. And I was going to ask you, now that your son is in college, what, if anything, like not even just advice or anything that pops in your head, like what would you, advice rather, tell other mothers? You know what I mean? Like what's one thing that sticks out to you now that your child is grown? If it's a regret or if it's something that you're glad you did, or like what you, like the biggest lesson maybe you learn from parenting, and now that you are able to kind of focus on yourself, if you look back at it,
Yeah, someone asked me this question the other day. I think growing up in the South, we know the importance of a village. I've had trolls say, oh, single mom, are you making him your boyfriend? I'm like, never. That was never the thing. I was told very early on, tell people what you need when you need it. And if you don't have the village, create it. So I have 5 brothers. He is a great grandfather, but like I said, they live in Texas. We live here. So I've just been very intentional about the space that we keep and the people that we bring around. I think that is so imperative, especially if you're going to have a kid in the business, because it's a cruel, cruel business. And college can be cruel. I had the time of my life, but it's the one year I went. But, that's a hard transition as well. Yeah. If your kid is not at college age yet, it is so important to just communicate. I love that my son will come home and tell me about a girl he likes. Yes. I like that he comes home and tells me about what happened on set, and he's not embarrassed that we're actually friends. People say things like, I can't believe he's dancing with you. My kid would never. He likes me.
I was going to say, you're pretty cool. So.
Yeah. Period. And I like him. So, yeah, I think I answered the question.
You did.
A village. Who you keep around your kids is so crucial. It's so important.
But the friendship, I think that's the thing that sticks out to me, is that you made sure that you were his mother, but you're also his friend, and you didn't wait till he was grown for that, because he wouldn't be telling you these things if that bond and relationship didn't previously exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I read this quote when he was a toddler, and I may get it wrong. But it's from Frederick Douglass. It's easier to build a strong man than to repair a broken one.
Yep.
Shout out to Frederick Douglass.
Yes. And I remember that kind of hit me in the chest. I was like, oh.
Because you pictured his face.
Yeah. That's why his hair.
Yes. So I very early on, like, we've always taken time out of our day to sit and talk. But there's something that I also do. I, every couple months, asked Isaiah, like, how am I doing? How am I doing? Tell me, what you think. What can we work on? What can I do for you? And there have been times where he said something that I'm like,
ouch. Right.
Okay. And then there's times where he's like, nothing. You're perfect. And I'm grateful. I've been looking around at other parents. Right. I'm glad I have you. And that helps, just to know like what he needs, because all of our kids are being raised under really weird circumstances. Yes. Like from the pandemic to, with us, the strike. Like my kid entered the pandemic young and came out of it an older teen. And so he missed some of those formative years. And so communication is just, it's number one for the two of us. And I think that's why we're friends.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I do. Wait, not to go that much further, but that was like a very personal question. I actually want to know, just for any parents who might be interested in getting their children into the business, what would be like a one piece of advice that you could give them as a place to start? Like, how did you, when he said, I want to be an actor, what was your next call?
The first big mistake that a lot of parents make, they'll get with an agency or a management company that they pay money to get into.
Girl.
Oh.
That is a big no-no. You will never have to do that if you want your kid in the business. If your kid is interested in acting, start getting them in class. And if you don't have money for class, we have iPhones. Put your kid on camera, teach them a few lines, have them start to build a relationship with the camera. And I say this all the time. If your kid wants to be in the business is more forgiving when the kids are younger. It gets more competitive when they get older. So I say the sweet year to get your kid in the business is like 11, 12. They're old enough, but still young enough to like work a lot. What else? Again, get a team that understands you. There are a lot of crazy scripts that come to Isaiah, and we'll get to reading, and I look at him like, so what's your decision?
Right.
Because I know what the decision is for me, but I want you to tell me, you want to be nude? Do you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I've heard parents say they have teams, they get upset about that because they want your kid to do everything. No, you're there to protect your kid there has to be a boundary always, because there's none in this business.
Yeah. That's good.
She has dropped all the gems, y'all.
All of them.
All the gems.
I hope so.
Mothers, momagers, we're here for you. She's here for you. And
Always.
thanks for being here,
Thank
Brittany.
you for
Thank
having
you so
me.
much. Look,
Well, can I give you your flowers before we end? Thank you so much for uplifting Black voices. We're not often heard, and I really, really appreciate that. When we did the Black Love interview, I was actually mortified because I knew I cried, so I walked out thinking, oh gosh, what are they going to post? What are they going to post? But we went viral on multiple platforms, and the amount of men specifically that reached out, and I'm not going to cry, to say, first and foremost, I'm so grateful for Black Love, but to see them highlight a mother and son's bond like this. There were so many men that said, I just wish my mom would have told me these things. So I'm so grateful for this platform. You guys are truly moving mountains. And this specific one, the Mama's Den, it needs to be discussed. I think moms, we're so guilt-ridden and we're always feeling shame or not feeling adequate because we feel like we're failing a lot. But I look forward to seeing you guys on my timeline. And I love that you have a different point of view, but you respect and adore each other. I see the friendship through the screen. I feel it. So thank you for having me.
Hand Ashley a tissue.
I know.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to cry.
Crying on them. What days of the week is this? I don't even know.
Monday. It's Monday.
Just thank you for being a safe space for mamas.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
for that.
I received that. I hope that you walk away remembering what we said, though.
Yeah.
I really do. You're an amazing mother. My mom was a single mom, and I think it is a thankless job. It is really hard. And being married, I every day think of my mother. Every day, and think about how unfair it is to have to do that alone. And so I think it's important for you to realize that you did it, and you did it well, very, very well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
may your future hold more men in your DMs.
Yes.
Looking for love.
More men in your DMs, more money in your bank account, more trips overseas, honey. He gonna be watching you taking an international flight.
That's hilarious. Okay, you got it, Melanie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you for sharing your story. Before we get out of here, a quick reminder that if you have any questions, I should look at this camera. If you have any questions for the Mama's Den, you have any comments you want to let us know, first of all, rate the podcast, drop all the comments, do it. But if you have any questions for us and would like to submit a question, please submit it to podcasts
With an S.
at blacklove.com.
So
That's usually
cute.
not my line, so I tried. I did my best, Cody.
You did good, friend.
Oh man. Okay. And for all things Mama's Den, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Okay. Leave a rating, a review if you're on Apple or Spotify, whatever. And also check out blacklove.com for more Black love stories and articles. Also check out Brittany and Isaiah on Couch Conversations for Two.
Yes.
They were cute.
And dancing and acting on a screen near you.
Yes.
Make it rhyme. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This was great.